Hello there. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys doing well. And today we are here to keep discussing about some topics related with language learning. Well, um, you see, I've started to think more carefully about my English. You guys know that I have the interest to develop more my English speaking skills, my English writing skills, every type of skills really. So I've been thinking of how can I use methods to properly achieve my goal. All right. So I want to share with you guys something that I have here, which I've named it my language studies sheet. Um, the month for this month, the month of May. So you guys can see I've created this sheet, and I will explain it how I can use it, how am I using it, and what I have in mind when I created it. So first thing first, I want to remember you guys that I'm keeping studying um, two languages in the current moment, that being both French and English. I am a native Portuguese speaker, and I'm studying those two languages um, mainly for my own amusement and enjoyment. So I have these two long languages that I'm willing to to learn in the present moment, and I've realized that I need to structure better my plan and how I approach it. First, for my French, I will keep doing 30 minutes of comprehensible input every day. I do not have the desire to start a more serious study of French because I think that I haven't got the time to do so. So I want to dedicate it more time to English than to French. French is this second language that I'm learning. The first and the most important in this present moment for me is English. So I want to have more time with English than I do with French. So that was very clear for me. But for my English, how will I approach it? And I've realized that it is important that I do the 6 core skills every single day. I've recorded videos here before talking about how I could approach it, but some of the things that I've said I was not following properly. But then again, I must do it every single day if I want to improve it. I must do it. So the things here that I'm thinking is I must fulfill the six what I called the six um, basic skills of language. They are listening, reading, writing, speaking, vocabulary, and grammar. Well, those last two are more auxiliary skills than properly skills in itself, because if a person has knows all the vocabulary of the language and do not know how to put the words together, the person is not um, a proficient speaker or um, a proficient enough anything. I like to think about the Scrabble players who memorizes um, all the vocabulary of that specific dictionary. And they do that in such a way that they can memorize it. They can memorize words and yeah, all the words and all the vocabulary of language that they do not speak even. So, thinking of that, they have some knowledge of vocabulary, that's for sure. They know, they have memorized it, a really big part, if not all part, of the vocabulary of the language. But they haven't got the contact with the language to be able to use it or to understand it. If they listen to someone speaking, let's say, Spanish, they know all the words in there. They could get some meaning of it if they know the translation, because if you don't, it will be quite, quite useless. And they have this contact with the language, but they do not know how to use it properly. If you know the grammar of the language, and do not know vocabulary, you will not be able to understand the language. So that's why I will call vocabulary and grammar the two auxiliary skills, and the other four are the two main skills. I want to practice all of them. I need to practice all of them in order to improve my English. My English is in a level that I do need to do more specific things than to do a lot of things. I need to do more precise, and I'm in a phase that I need to refine what I know and to understand more profoundly what I already know than to start knowing more things. I think that overall my English is around B2, almost going to C1, and I think my speaking is around B2. My writing may be around C1. I think that my written language, my writing skills are improving and going towards C1. To be honest, I think that my listening and my reading are quite established now as a high level of proficiency, because I can understand almost everything that I do listen and read to. Talking about it, I've started to read this book here, Alice Through the Looking Glass, and actually through the looking glass and what Alice found there. I've bought this book here alongside with Animal Farm, and I'm starting to use it for practice my reading. So I've realized that I need to practice the 6 skills that I mentioned in order to improve. So what I want to do is I want to consume and to practice every single day at least a small amount per skill. I want to listen to some content, some specific content with the British accent that I'm looking for. Read at least one chapter per day of my book, or at least some pages per day, every single day. Write at least a tiny bit per day, speaking, and also study vocabulary. For study and grammar and listen, all the 6 skills. So I thought that I am not uh, being aware of the things that I must be aware in order um, to improve the language. I was doing some things here and there. Don't get me wrong, I'm trying to improve. I was keeping practicing. but I was not keeping track of my progress and what I do or do not do in the language. So I've created this chart, this table here. Um, I don't know if you guys can see it, but here I've put English is part of French, and the days 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That being the 1st of May, the 2nd of May, the 3rd of May, the 4th of May, the 5th, so on. And here we have the listening, reading, writing, speaking, grammar, vocabulary, and here is the listen for French. Those are for English, that one is for French. So every time that I study or I practice one of those skills, I go there and I will paint this little square here. So yesterday was the 1st of May. I've practiced listen, reading, writing, grammar, and listen in French, but I haven't practiced speaking no vocabulary, so I haven't marked those out. Today I already practiced it. The listen in French, the grammar in English, the listen in English, and the reading in English as well. I'm practicing my speaking now, doing this MDJ, and I will keep track of it. So that's basically my goal. So I can see my progress. If I can do it consistently throughout the days, I can do it properly throughout the days. It's hard to have this kind of feedback and this kind of willingness to be aware of your language learning process, because if you just do it the same thing over and over again without consciously criticizing yourself, in my opinion, you have the possibility to fall into some kind of prison. Because let's say that I'm using an ineffective method. If I never think about the method that I'm using, I will keep doing that ineffective method constantly. And I will not be able to say if that is working or not because I'm not aware of it. So that's why I must keep be aware of my language learning. So, another thing, for my grammar, I'm using the English Grammar News book by Raymond Murphy. I think that's how he's called. I think that's his name, isn't it? Raymond Murphy. So I will I will I am using this book, and I'm trying to do a chapter per day of grammar. Today I've studied the second unity. It's the simple present. And yesterday I studied the present continuous. And I will keep doing that. The book has 145 units, if I'm not mistaken. So if I keep doing it constantly and practicing it constantly, one chapter per day, this year I can finish the book, and I will have more knowledge of grammar, I hope. So for my speaking, I've been thinking on whether I should keep practicing my speaking talking in this type of format, in which I talk about a method that I want to talk, or I should try to do other things as reading out loud or simulate some situation so I can practice it. but I do not know. I haven't got the idea yet, the perfect idea. I haven't got the what I need to do yet and how I need to do it. But at least I need to practice daily. That's a thing that I know for sure. I need to practice daily in order to improve. My English is not bad, you know. I'm not looking to my English in a sorrowful way. I'm looking to my English, and I'm realizing that my work and my effort is given some kind of fruit, you know. In some sense, I'm doing it and it is being effective. So that's my thought on it. For my French as well, I'm starting to recognize some patterns in French, some things here and there, and I'm starting to improve slowly my French. I haven't got the willingness to start to learn French now. Maybe this, maybe like in 2, 3, or 4 months, I will start to think more about my French. But for now, I want to focus on my English and my in my English primarily, and just use 30 minutes per day to study French. In this way, I will have some contact with the language. I will improve. Um, I will be proven slowly, but my time will be overallly used to learn English. Well, I think that's it for today. I've shared some ideas with you guys. I will keep trying to figure out what I want to do with writing, speaking, um, reading, listening, grammar, vocabulary. For my grammar, I think that it is pretty established. I think it's a great idea to keep doing grammar exercises and reading the theory behind it once per day, and just that I think will be enough to high to increase the level of proficiency of my grammar. I think another thing, just a tiny thought, I need to be more critic of myself, and I need to started to watch my videos uh, so I can criticize and find mistakes or find words and structures that I'm not using properly, or I'm still not able to use it quite normally, quite proficiently. So that's a thing that I want to do as well. Well, that's it for today. See you guys soon. Bye.